The night has already begun. You don't need to know when it started. It moves the way water moves under ice, slow and certain, without asking. There is a road somewhere in the dark. It stretches long and empty, the kind of road where headlights never come, where the trees stand back from the edges and let the quiet settle. You are not walking it. You are being carried along it, like something held in the palm of the night itself. The air is cool but not cold. It touches your face the way curtains touch a window when the house is still. There is no hurry here. The road doesn't lead anywhere in particular. It doesn't need to. It exists only to be traveled gently, without effort or arrival. You can rest while it continues. The horizon is soft. No edges. Just a slow blending of dark into darker, like watercolor left too long on paper. There are no lights except the faint ones. The kind that glow without meaning to. The kind that come from somewhere far enough away that they feel like memory instead of sight. You don't have to watch them. The night will hold them for you. Somewhere far off, a train is moving. You can't hear it, but you know it's there. It travels through empty stations, through towns that are sleeping, past fields where nothing grows except grass and time. The train carries no passengers. Or perhaps it carries only one, and they are already asleep. The windows are dark. The seats are empty. The rhythm of the wheels is so steady it becomes silence. You are not on the train, but you are moving the way the train is moving. Without effort. Without waking. The night is long, but not too long. It knows how to hold the hours without crushing them. It spreads them out like cloth across a table, smooth and even. Time here doesn't pull. It doesn't rush or pile up behind you. It simply exists, passing the way breath passes, unnoticed until you remember to notice, and then it slips away again. You're being carried through the middle of it. Not forward, not backward. Just through. There is a hallway somewhere. Long and narrow. The kind found in old buildings where the floors creak, but not loudly. Where the walls are painted a color that used to be white and now is something softer. The hallway is empty. It stretches in both directions, lit by a light that comes from nowhere in particular. No bulbs. No windows. Just a faint glow, like the air itself remembers daylight. You are not walking the hallway, but you are in it somehow, the way you are in your own breath. There are doors along the walls. They are closed but not locked. Behind each one is a room you don't need to see. A room where nothing is happening, where furniture sits in the dark and waits without impatience. The hallway doesn't end. It doesn't need to. You can let it continue without you. The night outside is still. No wind. No rain. Just the kind of silence that fills the space between the ground and the sky. The trees are there, standing the way they always do. They don't move. They don't grow. They simply exist, dark shapes against a darker background. You don't have to see them to know they're there. The night remembers them for you. There is a station platform somewhere, empty and gray. The benches are made of wood worn smooth by years of people sitting and leaving. No trains are arriving. No trains are expected. The platform simply waits, the way all platforms do, patient and unbothered. You are not waiting. You are already being carried. There is a map on the wall of the station, behind cracked glass. It shows lines going in different directions, names of places written in small letters. None of the names matter. None of the places are destinations. They are only names, only lines. The map is there to remind you that distance exists, but it doesn't require traveling. You can be far away without moving. You can be nowhere without being lost. The night holds both stillness and motion at the same time. It doesn't choose between them. It lets them exist together, like two people sleeping side by side. You are resting inside that balance. The road is still there, still stretching, still empty. The trees are still standing. The hallway is still lit by its soft, sourceless glow. Nothing changes and nothing needs to. The hours are passing, but they pass like fog passing through a forest. Quiet, unseen, leaving no trace. You are being carried through them. Not quickly, not slowly, just carried. The night knows the way. There is a room at the end of nothing. It has one window. The glass is clean but shows only darkness. Not the darkness of walls or curtains, but the darkness of open space, of distance, of the night itself looking back. You are not in the room, but you know it's there. The floor is bare. The walls are bare. There is a chair, but no one sits in it. There is a table, but nothing rests on its surface. The room is not empty in a sad way. It is empty in the way a held breath is empty. Waiting but not tense. Still but not stopped. Outside the window, the night continues. It doesn't press against the glass. It simply exists beyond it, patient and endless. You don't need to look out. The night will be there whether you see it or not. There is a train again, or perhaps it's the same train, moving through a stretch of land where no towns are, where the tracks run straight for miles and miles without curving. The train makes no sound. It travels the way shadows travel when the sun is moving. Steady, inevitable, unnoticed unless you stop to see. Inside the train, the aisles are empty. The luggage racks hold nothing. The lights are dim, the kind of dim that lets you rest your eyes without closing them. You are not inside the train, but you are moving with it, being carried alongside it, or through it, or beneath it. Geography doesn't matter here. Direction is only a suggestion. The night holds all positions at once. There is a field, grass mostly. It stretches wide and flat, broken only by the occasional rise of land that might be a hill but doesn't insist on it. The grass is gray in the dark. It doesn't sway. There is no wind to move it. It simply grows quietly the way grass has always grown, without purpose or question. You are not standing in the field, but you are aware of it, the way you're aware of your own weight when you lie down. Present but not demanding. The field has no edges. It meets the sky so gradually that there is no line, just a slow dissolving, one becoming the other. You don't need to know where they separate. The night will hold the boundary for you. There is a bridge, made of stone, or perhaps concrete worn smooth by time. It crosses something, a river maybe, or a ravine, or simply empty air. The bridge is wide enough for one car, but no cars come. It is lit by nothing. It stands in the dark, patient and strong, holding its own weight without complaint. You are not crossing the bridge. You are simply aware of its existence, the way you're aware of old songs you haven't heard in years. Present somewhere in the back of everything. Beneath the bridge there is movement. Not water, but something slower. The kind of motion that happens over years. The shift of stone. The settling of earth. It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't need to. The night is full of movements that happen too slowly to notice. Movements that only matter over decades. Over centuries. You can rest while they continue. The train has stopped at a station. Not the same station as before. A different one. Smaller. Older. There is a single bench on the platform. Green paint peeling. Wooden slats soft with age. No one is sitting on it. No one is waiting. The train's doors are open, but no one gets on. No one gets off. After a while, the doors close again. The train begins to move. Slowly at first, then steady. It leaves the station behind without ceremony. Without sound. You are not on the train, but you feel its departure anyway. A gentle shift. A change in the air that isn't quite movement, but isn't quite stillness either. The hallway is still there, still stretching, still lit by that faint, even glow. You are somewhere inside it, or beside it, or it is inside you. Boundaries are softer here. One of the doors is open now, just slightly, just enough to show a sliver of darkness inside. You don't need to look. You don't need to enter. The door is open simply because it is. Not as an invitation, not as a warning, just as a fact. Inside the room, there is a bed. Made but not perfectly. The blanket is pulled up but wrinkled. The pillow shows the faint impression of a head that rested there once, years ago. The bed is waiting. Not for you. Not for anyone. It simply waits because that is what beds do when no one is sleeping in them. You are already resting. You don't need another bed. The night is bed enough. The road is still there. Still empty. Still stretching. But now there are stones along the edges. Smooth and round, placed by no one. Worn by time and weather into shapes that ask nothing of anyone. They sit in the grass beside the road. They mark nothing. They point nowhere. They simply exist. You are passing them without effort. You are being carried past them the way rivers carry leaves. Gently, without question. The horizon is no closer than it was. The horizon is no farther. It remains where horizons always remain. At the edge of seeing. At the place where distance becomes idea instead of space. You don't need to reach it. It will stay there patient, whether you move toward it or not. There is a clock somewhere, hanging on a wall in a room you've never seen. The kind of clock with hands that move in silence. That tick without ticking. The hands are moving now. Slowly. Steadily. They mark the passing of hours, but the hours don't feel marked. They feel untouched. They pass the way breath passes. In. Out. Noticed only when you think to notice. The clock doesn't care if you see it. It will keep time without witnesses. You are resting in the space between the numbers. Between the hours. In the long, soft gap where nothing is measured and nothing needs to be. The train is moving again. Or it never stopped. Or there are many trains, all moving through the same dark, all carrying nothing, all traveling the same endless track. It doesn't matter which. You are being carried with them. The night holds all of them at once. There is a staircase. It goes down, or perhaps it goes up. The direction isn't clear. The steps are made of something solid. Stone, maybe. Or wood that's been worn smooth. The staircase curves gently. You can't see the top. You can't see the bottom. It simply exists, suspended in the dark, leading from one place to another place that is exactly the same. You are not climbing. You are not descending. You are simply aware of the stairs the way you're aware of your own breathing. There is no light on the staircase. No railing to hold. But you don't need either. The stairs hold themselves. They know their own structure. They don't ask for help. You can let them continue without you. Somewhere there is a garden. Not wild, but not tended either. It exists in the space between. Where plants grow without permission and without chaos. Where paths wind gently through low shrubs and grass that doesn't need cutting. The garden is gray in the dark. Everything is gray here. The flowers are closed. Not dead. Not sleeping. Simply closed, holding their color inside themselves until some distant morning. You are not walking the paths, but you know they're there. You can feel them beneath you, or beside you, or in some direction that doesn't have a name. The paths lead nowhere. They circle back on themselves gently, the way conversations circle back to familiar topics. You don't need to follow them. They will remain whether you walk them or not. There is a fountain in the center of the garden. Dry. It hasn't held water in a long time. Leaves have gathered in the basin. Old leaves, brown and brittle and settled. The fountain doesn't mind being empty. It stands the way all old things stand, with a quiet dignity, with the knowledge that purpose is not required for existence. You are resting in that knowledge. The train has passed through a tunnel, long and smooth-walled, the kind where the sound changes but doesn't echo, where the darkness is different from the darkness outside. Thicker, more complete. The tunnel goes on for miles. The train moves through it without slowing. No lights inside. No windows showing anything but black. Just motion. Just the steady, inevitable movement forward. You are inside the tunnel, or beside it, or you are the tunnel itself. It doesn't matter. The darkness holds all of it. There is a boat, small, wooden, tied to a dock that extends into water you can't see. The water is still. No waves, no ripples, just a flat surface that reflects nothing because there is no light to reflect. The boat rocks gently anyway. Some memory of motion, some habit of water that continues even when the water is calm. You are not in the boat, but you feel it's rocking. A gentle sway, side to side, forward and back. It's a motion that asks nothing of you. You can rest inside it. The dock is old. The boards are soft with age. Some of them creak, but no one is walking on them. They creak because that's what old wood does. It settles. It shifts. It speaks to itself in small sounds that mean nothing. You don't need to listen. The night will listen for you. There is a library, shelves reaching up into darkness, books with spines too faded to read, some leather, some cloth, some so old the material has become something else entirely. The library is silent, not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of patience, the silence of things that have been waiting so long they've forgotten what they're waiting for. You are not in the library, but you can smell it. Old paper, old dust, the particular scent of time itself, settled into fibers and bindings. The smell is comforting. It asks nothing of you. The books remain on their shelves. They don't need to be read. They don't need to be opened. They simply exist, holding their words inside themselves. You can let them continue holding. The hallway has changed. Or perhaps it's a different hallway. The doors are different now. Taller. Made of darker wood. They are all closed. Behind each one is a room full of night. Full of the same darkness that's outside. The same stillness. You don't need to open them. You don't need to know what's inside. The hallway is enough. The hallway is all there needs to be. Your body is somewhere. Resting. Held by something soft. A bed. A couch. The earth itself. It doesn't matter where. The body is still. It breathes without asking. It rests without trying. You can leave it there. It knows what to do. The night will watch it for you while you are carried through this long, quiet passage. There is a window, large and uncovered. It looks out onto nothing. Not a wall. Not a garden. Just the open night. The kind of view where distance has no meaning because there are no landmarks to measure it against. You are standing at the window or sitting or lying somewhere nearby. It doesn't matter. The view doesn't change based on where you are. The night outside is complete. It needs nothing added to it. Needs nothing taken away. It simply is. You can look at it without thinking. You can turn away and it will remain exactly as it was. The train has stopped again. No station this time. Just a stretch of track in the middle of empty land. The doors don't open. No one gets on or off. The train simply sits there, engine silent, lights dim, existing in the pause between movements. It will move again eventually. Or it won't. Either way is fine. You are resting in that pause. In the space where nothing is happening and nothing needs to happen, there is a field of stones. Not a cemetery, not a monument, just stones, placed by glaciers 10,000 years ago, worn smooth by wind and rain and time. They sit half-buried in the earth. Some are small, some are large. None of them are special. They are simply stones being stones. You are passing through the field without disturbing them. You are being carried above them, or around them, or through the spaces between them. The stones don't notice. They don't need to. The night is full of things that don't notice you, that exist without requiring your presence, that continue whether you're aware of them or not. You can rest in that freedom. The road is still there, still stretching, still empty. But now there are tire marks on it, old ones, faded by weather. Two thin lines running parallel, disappearing into the distance. Someone drove here once, a long time ago. The marks remain because roads remember, because asphalt holds impressions longer than it should. You don't need to follow them. You don't need to know where they lead. They are simply there. A fact, a detail, something to notice and then release. The night continues. It has always been continuing. It will continue long after this telling. You're held inside it now, carried through its hours. Its long, patient hours that ask nothing and give nothing except passage. There is a room full of clocks. Not ticking, not chiming, just present, hanging on walls, sitting on shelves, standing in corners. All of them show different times. None of them are correct. None of them are wrong. They simply exist, each one holding its own moment, its own particular hour that has nothing to do with the hours outside. You are not in the room, but you can hear the silence where the ticking should be. It's a thick silence, a silence made of all the sounds that aren't happening. You can rest inside that silence. The train is moving through a forest, dense and dark. Trees pressed close to the tracks on both sides. Branches reaching overhead but not quite touching. The train moves slowly here. Not cautiously, just slowly. Because the forest asks for slowness. Because speed would be wrong. Inside the train, the lights have dimmed even further. Almost out. Just a faint glow. Enough to see the outlines of seats. The shapes of empty spaces. You are not inside the train, but you are moving with it. Through the trees. Through the close darkness. Through air that smells of pine and earth and time. The forest has been here for a long time. It doesn't mind the train passing through. It doesn't mind anything. It simply grows. Simply stands. Simply continues being forest. You can be carried through it without disturbing it. There is a bridge ahead, or behind, or you've already crossed it. Time is softer here. Events don't line up the way they usually do. They exist in a space where before and after don't have the same meaning. The bridge is metal, old iron, painted once, but the paint has flaked away. Now it's just rust. Not falling apart, just rusty, oxidized, returning slowly to earth. The bridge crosses a river. The river moves beneath it without sound. Dark water over dark stones, moving the way time moves. Constantly, inevitably, without announcement. You are crossing the bridge without feeling it. You are on both sides at once. You are beneath it, watching the water. Above it, watching the night. Geography is a suggestion here. You can be in multiple places without effort. The hallway has widened. Or narrowed. It's hard to say. The walls seem closer and farther at the same time. The doors are still there. Still closed. But the light has changed. It's dimmer now. Not darker. Just dimmer. Like the light before dawn, when everything is gray and soft and edges haven't quite formed yet. You are walking the hallway or drifting through it, or you are the hallway itself, holding all these closed doors inside yourself. One door has a number on it. You can't read the number. Not because the light is too dim, but because the number doesn't want to be read. It shifts when you look at it, changes, becomes something else. You don't need to know what room it is. You don't need to know what's inside. The door is there. That's enough. There is a desk. Wooden. Old. Scarred with years of use. Papers scattered across its surface. But the papers are blank. No writing. No printing. Just white or cream or gray sheets of paper, lying there holding nothing. The desk sits in a room you haven't seen. A room with one window. One chair. One lamp that isn't lit. You are not at the desk. But you know it's there. You can feel its presence. The weight of it. The solidness of old wood that has held its shape for decades. The desk doesn't need anyone to sit at it. It's content to be empty. You are being carried past it. Through it. Around it. There is a road again. Always a road. Sometimes the same road. Sometimes a different one. This road is dirt. Packed hard by time and weather. Two tracks where wheels have worn the earth down. Grass growing between the tracks. The road curves gently. You can't see where it goes. You can't see where it came from. It simply exists in the present moment. This stretch of dirt and grass. This curve through the night. You are traveling it without effort. Being carried along it by something that has no name. By motion itself. By the night's slow current. There are houses far off to the side. Maybe. Shapes that might be houses. Or barns. Or just shadows that have learned to sit still. No lights in the windows. No smoke from the chimneys. Just structures existing in the dark. Waiting for nothing. Asking for nothing. You pass them without seeing them clearly. They don't mind. The train has emerged from the forest. The trees have fallen away. Now there is only flatness. Land stretching out in all directions. Featureless. Empty. The train moves faster here. Not rushing. Just moving at its natural pace. The pace of something that has a long way to go and all the time it needs. Inside, the seats remain empty. The aisles remain clear. The train carries no one except the idea of passengers. The memory of people who once rode these tracks. Who once looked out these windows at passing landscapes. You are that memory, maybe. Or you are something else entirely. It doesn't matter. You are being carried regardless. There is a shore. Not an ocean shore. Something smaller. A lake. Or a wide river. Water meeting land in a gentle line. The shore is made of small stones. Smooth and round. They click against each other when water moves them. But the water isn't moving now. Everything is still. The stones rest against each other. Patient. Unmindful. You are standing on the shore. Or sitting. Or you are one of the stones, smooth and round and content to be held by the earth. The water stretches out. Dark. Calm. Its surface is perfect. Unbroken. There is no moon to reflect in it. There are no stars. Just darkness meeting darkness. You don't need to see across the water. You don't need to know what's on the other side. This shore is enough. This moment of stillness is enough. The hallway has ended. Or paused. Or opened into a larger space. It's hard to tell. The walls have pulled back. The ceiling has risen. Or disappeared entirely. You are standing in a space that might be a room. Or might be something else. An atrium. A courtyard with no sky. The floor is smooth beneath you. Cool. Made of stone or tile or something that feels like both. There is nothing in this space. No furniture. No decoration. Just emptiness. Just air and darkness and the feeling of space around you. You are not alone in the emptiness. The night is here with you. It fills the space. It holds you gently. It asks nothing and gives everything. You can rest here. You can let the emptiness hold you. The train is slowing. Or maybe it's been stopped for a while, and you're only now noticing. Time moves strangely inside these hours. Things happen and unhappen, arrive and depart simultaneously. The train is at a station, or between stations, or there are no stations, just tracks running through the endless dark. It doesn't matter where the train is. What matters is that you are being carried, that the night holds you, that the motion continues even in stillness. There is a path through grass, worn by feet that no longer walk it. The grass grows up through the path but doesn't erase it. The memory of the path remains. A slight depression in the earth, a line of travel held in the ground itself. You are following the path without walking. You are being carried along it, drifting, floating, moving in a way that requires no effort from you. The grass is tall on either side, not blocking, just present, tall enough to brush against you if you were walking. But you're not walking. You're being carried. The grass doesn't move. There is no wind, just stillness, just the quiet presence of growing things in the dark. The path continues. It will always continue. It leads from one part of the night to another part of the night, from darkness to darkness, from quiet to quiet. You can follow it forever without arriving anywhere. You can rest inside its continuation. There is a bench. It sits beside nothing. Not a road, not a path, not a building, just grass and night and the bench itself. The bench is made of wood, old wood, weathered, gray, the kind that splinters but hasn't splintered yet. No one is sitting on it. No one has sat on it for a long time. But it remains, patient, unbothered by its emptiness. You are not sitting on the bench, but you are near it, beside it, or you are the bench, or the bench is simply a detail in this long, slow passage, a thing noticed and then released. The night holds it. The night holds everything. There is a window in a wall, not attached to any building you can see, just a window, tall, narrow, for panes of glass held in a wooden frame. The glass is clean. The frame is not painted. Just raw wood, gray with age. The window looks out onto nothing. Or everything. It's hard to tell the difference here. You can look through the window without standing in front of it. You can see through it from any direction. It shows the same thing from every angle. The same endless dark. The same quiet night. The window doesn't separate inside from outside. It simply exists. A frame for looking. A permission to see. You're being carried past it. Through it. Around it. The train is moving again. Or it never stopped. Or stopping and moving are the same thing here. The tracks run straight now. Perfectly straight. As if someone drew a line across the land with a ruler and then laid track along it. The train follows the line without deviation. Inside, the lights have gone out completely. There is only darkness now. The same darkness that's outside. The same darkness that fills everything. You can't see the seats anymore. You can't see the aisles. But you know they're there. You can feel them. The shape of them. The space they occupy. You are inside that space. Or beside it. Or you are the space itself, empty and patient and continuing. There is a ceiling somewhere above. Maybe. Or maybe there's just more night. More darkness that goes up and up without ending. It doesn't matter. Up and down are less important here. What matters is the motion. The slow, steady motion that carries you through all of this. There is a field of flowers. You can't see them. They're closed in the darkness. But you know they're there. They grow in rows. Or they grow wild. Or they don't grow at all. They simply exist, flowers in the dark, holding their color inside themselves. You are moving through the field. Above it, beside it, the flowers don't notice you passing. They don't need to. They are content being flowers. Content holding their petals closed. Content waiting for a morning that may or may not come. You don't need to see them. The night sees them for you. The night sees everything. There is a staircase again. Or the same staircase. It's impossible to know. This one goes down. Definitely down. The steps descend into darkness that's even darker than the darkness around it. There is no railing. No light. No sound. Just steps. Going down. Continuing beyond sight. You are not descending. But you are aware of the descent. The way you're aware of gravity. Of weight. Of the pull of things toward other things. The staircase pulls nothing. It simply offers a way down. A passage into deeper night. Into the underneath of things. You can let it continue without you. You can be carried past it. Over it. Through the space beside it. There is a lamp. Unlit. Standing on a table that appears out of the darkness. The lamp has a glass chimney. The kind you fill with oil. The kind that existed before electricity. Before the easy flip of switches. The lamp is not lit. It hasn't been lit in years. The glass is dusty. The oil has long since evaporated. The wick is dry and brittle. But the lamp remains. It holds its shape. It remembers what it was made for even though it no longer does that thing. You are passing the lamp. Or you are the lamp. Or the lamp is just one more detail in this endless procession of details. It glows anyway. Not with light. With presence. With the simple fact of being. The hallway has doors again. Or it always had doors. Or the doors are new. They line both walls. Evenly spaced. All the same height. All the same color. The color is hard to name. Not brown. Not gray. Something between. Something that doesn't have a name in daylight. The doors are all closed. Behind each one is a room full of the same night that's out here. The same darkness. The same quiet. You don't need to open the doors. You don't need to see inside. The hallway is enough. The passage through it is enough. There is a mirror on one wall. Large. Oval. Framed in dark wood with carvings that have worn smooth. The mirror reflects nothing. Not because there's nothing to reflect, but because the darkness is too complete. Because light hasn't reached this place in so long that the mirror has forgotten what it's supposed to do. You stand in front of the mirror. Or you stand behind it. Or you stand somewhere else entirely, and the mirror is just there, present, part of the landscape of this long night. You don't see yourself in it. There is nothing to see. Just darkness reflecting darkness. Just night held in glass. The train has entered another tunnel. Longer than the last one. Deeper. Older. The walls are brick. You can't see them, but you know they're there. You can feel them. The coolness they hold. The dampness they've absorbed over years of trains passing through. The tunnel curves gently. A long, slow arc. Following the shape of land above it. Following the path of least resistance through whatever needs to be passed through. The train moves steadily. It has always been moving steadily. It will always move steadily. You are inside the tunnel. Inside the train. Inside the darkness that fills both. There is no difference between any of these things. They are all the same thing. All the same passage through the long night. There is a door at the end of the hallway. Larger than the others. Made of heavier wood. With a handle that's cold to the touch even though you're not touching it. The door is closed. It has always been closed. Behind it is more hallway. Or a room. Or stairs. Or just more night. You don't know what's behind it. You don't need to know. The door is simply there. A boundary. A marker. a thing that separates one space from another space that's exactly the same. You are carried past the door without opening it. You are carried through all of this without opening anything. The night opens for you. The night makes way. There is a river, wide and slow, moving with the patience of something that has been moving for thousands of years. The water is dark, the same dark as everything else, but it moves differently. It has its own rhythm, its own slow pulse. The river makes no sound. It slides over stones without speaking. It passes banks without eroding them. It simply moves, continues, goes on being a river. You are floating on the river, or beside it, or you are the river itself, moving without effort, continuing without destination. The banks are lined with trees, tall ones, old ones, their roots reaching into the water, their branches reaching into the night. The trees don't move. They don't grow. They simply stand. They've been standing for so long that standing is all they know how to do. You pass beneath them, between them, through them. They don't notice. The night is full of things that don't notice, that exist without witnesses, that continue whether you're there or not. You can rest in that continuation. You can let it carry you. There is a room with many windows. They line every wall. Tall windows, narrow windows, all showing the same darkness. The room is empty except for the windows. No furniture, no decoration, just walls and windows and the space between them. You are standing in the center of the room, or lying down, or floating somewhere near the ceiling. Position doesn't matter here. The windows don't let in light. There is no light to let in. They simply frame the darkness. They give it shape. They make it visible in a way that darkness usually isn't. You can look out any of the windows and see the same thing. The same endless night. The same patient dark. Or you can look at none of them. You can close your eyes and the windows will still be there. The darkness will still be there. Nothing will change whether you look or not. The train has stopped at a crossing. Gates down. Lights flashing. But there are no cars waiting. No trucks. No people. Just the train and the crossing and the empty road stretching away in both directions. The gates will stay down forever. Or they'll rise in a moment. Time doesn't move the same way at crossings. It pools there. It gathers. It forgets to continue. You are at the crossing, or past it, or you've been past it for hours. The lights flash silently. Red, red, red. A rhythm without sound. A warning without danger. There is nothing to warn. Nothing to protect. Just the empty road and the patient night, and the train that has already passed. Or is about to pass. Or is always passing. There is a bridge made of rope and wood. Old. Swaying. Stretching across a gap you can't see the bottom of. The rope is frayed but not broken. The wood is soft but not rotten. The bridge holds its own weight and nothing else. No one is crossing the bridge. No one has crossed it in years. It simply hangs there. Suspended. Patient. Waiting for nothing. You are on the bridge. Or beneath it. Or you are the bridge, swaying gently in a wind that doesn't blow. The gap beneath is full of darkness. Deeper darkness. The kind that feels like it has weight. Like it has substance. You don't need to look down. You don't need to see the bottom. The bridge holds you. The night holds you. That's enough. There is a chair by a window. Not the room with many windows. A different room. A smaller one. The chair faces the window. Its back is to the rest of the room. As if whoever placed it there was only interested in looking out. In watching whatever might pass by. But nothing passes by. The window shows only darkness. Only night. Only the same endless view that every window shows. The chair is empty. It has been empty for a long time. The cushion is worn where someone used to sit. The arms are smooth where hands used to rest. But no one sits there now. You are not sitting there. The chair simply exists, holds its shape, continues being a chair even though no one needs it to be. You are carried past it, through the room, through the wall, through the boundary between inside and outside that means nothing here. The hallway has ended in a courtyard, or opened into one, or the courtyard has always been there and the hallway was just how you arrived. The courtyard is square, or round. Its shape keeps changing, not moving, just being different each time you notice it. The ground is paved with stones, flat stones, fitted together so tightly you can't see the gaps between them. There are no plants in the courtyard, no fountain, no benches, just the stones and the walls and the open sky above that isn't really sky. Just more darkness, more night. You are standing in the courtyard, or you are above it, or you are beneath the stones, pressed into the earth they rest on. The courtyard doesn't echo. Sound dies here immediately, as if the stones absorb it, as if the darkness swallows it before it can travel. You don't make any sound. There is no sound to make. The train is moving along a ridge, high above the land on either side. The tracks run along the top of the ridge, a thin line across the sky. Below, on both sides, the land falls away into darkness, into valleys full of night, into spaces that might be deep or might just feel deep. The train doesn't slow. It doesn't worry about heights, about edges, about the long drop on either side. It simply moves, follows the tracks, continues being a train. You are on the train, or beside it, or you are the ridge itself, solid and sure, holding the tracks without effort. The wind doesn't blow up here. The air is still. There is just the motion of the train, the steady, inevitable forward, the continuation. There is a desk in the courtyard now, or it was always there, or it's somewhere else entirely, and you're just remembering it. The desk has one drawer. The drawer is closed. Inside the drawer is paper, or pens, or nothing at all. You don't open the drawer. You don't need to know what's inside. The desk is simply there. One more detail. One more thing existing in this long passage through the dark. The drawer will remain closed. What's inside will remain inside. Everything here holds itself, keeps itself, asks nothing of you. There is a path through tall grass again, or a different path, or the same path returning. The grass brushes against you as you pass, or it doesn't, or you're not moving and the grass is being carried past you. Direction is fluid here. Motion is flexible. You can be still and moving at the same time. You can be in one place and many places. You can arrive without departing, depart without arriving. The path continues. It has always continued. It will always continue. You are on it, in it, made of the same stuff it's made of. There is a door that opens outward, not into a room, not into a hallway, into more night, into more darkness. The door is open now, standing wide, held by nothing, moving in no breeze. You can walk through it without walking. You can pass through it without passing. You can be on both sides at once. The door doesn't close. It doesn't need to. It simply stands open. An invitation, an acknowledgement, a passage that requires no passage. You are through it now, or you've been through it all along, or you'll never go through it, and that's fine too. The night doesn't mind. The night accepts all versions, all possibilities, all the things that happen and don't happen simultaneously. There is a train somewhere, or many trains, or one train that exists in many places at once. The train is always moving. Even when it's stopped, it's moving. Moving through time if not through space. Moving through the night's long hours. Through its patient progression. You are on the train. You've always been on the train. The train is carrying you through all of this. Or you're carrying the train. Or the train and you and the night are all the same thing. All one long, slow movement from nowhere to nowhere. From darkness to darkness. From rest to rest. The train's windows are dark. The seats are empty. The aisles are clear. But the train is full. Full of night. Full of passage. Full of the slow, steady continuation that defines everything here. You rest in that fullness. You let it carry you. There is a bell in a tower. The tower is stone. Old stone. The kind that's been weathered smooth. The kind that's held its shape for so many centuries it's forgotten it was ever new. The bell hangs in the open air at the top. No walls around it. Just the bell and the darkness and the stone beneath. The bell doesn't ring. It hasn't rung in years. Maybe decades. Maybe longer. The rope that would ring it hangs down through the tower. Frayed at the end. Swaying slightly in a wind that doesn't blow. You are at the bottom of the tower. Or the top. Or somewhere on the stairs that spiral up through the middle. The stairs are worn. Concave from centuries of feet. Smooth and dangerous and patient. You don't climb them. You don't need to reach the top. The bell will remain silent whether you climb or not. The night holds the bell. Holds the tower. Holds you. Holds everything in the same gentle suspension. The train has entered a station. Large. Cavernous. The kind built in an age when trains were important. When stations were monuments. The ceiling arches high overhead. You can't see it, but you can feel it. The space above. The air that rises and finally stops against something. The platform is empty. Wide and empty. Made of concrete or stone. Marked with yellow lines that no one pays attention to anymore. The benches are old. Wooden. Bolted to the platform. No one sits on them. The train sits at the platform. Doors open. Lights dim. Waiting for passengers that won't come. That never come. That stopped coming so long ago the train has forgotten what passengers are. You are on the platform. Or on the train. Or you're the space between them. The gap. The nothing that separates one from the other. The station clock shows a time. You can't read it. The numbers blur when you look at them. They shift. They become other numbers. They become not numbers. Time doesn't matter in the station. The station exists outside of time. Or beside it. Or underneath it. Trains arrive and don't arrive. Depart and don't depart. The station holds all of it. All the contradictions. All the impossibilities. You can rest here. You can let the station hold you the way it holds everything else. There is a garden path. Gravel. The kind that crunches underfoot. But you make no sound as you pass over it. The gravel is smooth. Rounded. Each piece the same size. As if someone sorted them all by hand. As if someone cared about such things. The path winds through low hedges. Trimmed once but not anymore. Growing into shapes that are almost shapes. That suggest intention without completing it. You follow the path. Or the path follows you. Or you and the path are the same thing. One line through the darkness. One way through the night. The hedges don't block your view. There's nothing to see anyway. Just more darkness. More night. More of the same gentle nothing that fills everything here. You don't mind. There's nothing to mind. The path continues and you continue with it. Slowly. Gently. Without effort or destination. There is a fountain. Different from the other fountain. This one has water. Still water. Dark water. Water that doesn't move but isn't stagnant. The fountain is round. Stone, with a wide basin that could hold many gallons. Does hold many gallons. Has held them for a long time. The water's surface is perfect. Unrippled. Undisturbed. You are standing beside the fountain. Or sitting on its edge. Or you are the water itself. Still. Patient. Content to be held. Nothing falls into the water. No leaves. No rain. No coins tossed by wishers. The water simply sits there. Reflects the darkness above it. Becomes a circle of night held in stone. You can look into it without seeing yourself. You can lean over it without casting a shadow. The water accepts everything. Reflects nothing. Holds itself in perfect stillness. The train is moving through flat land again. Or still. Or it never left the flat land. The tracks run straight. Endlessly straight. As if they were drawn across the world with no regard for what was there before. There are no trees here. No buildings. No signs of anything. Just the flat land and the tracks and the train moving across it. The train's lights are out. The train is dark. Inside and out. Just a dark shape moving through darkness. Visible only by the slightly different quality of its black. You are inside the darkness. Or you are the darkness. Or the darkness is inside you. It doesn't matter. Everything here is made of the same substance. The same soft, patient nothing. The same gentle absence of everything that isn't night. There is a doorway without a door. Just a frame. Standing in the open. No walls around it. No building to be the entrance to. The frame is wood. Dark wood. Or stone. It changes depending on when you look at it. The doorway opens onto the same night that surrounds it. There's no difference between passing through it and passing beside it. But the doorway remains. Marks a space. Defines a threshold even though there's nothing to threshold between. You pass through it. Or you've already passed through it. Or you'll never pass through it, and that's fine. The doorway doesn't care. It simply stands there. Frames emptiness. Gives shape to passage. There is a room full of books again. Or the same room. Or books are everywhere, and you're just noticing them now. The books are old. Leather spines. Gold lettering that's faded to almost nothing. Titles you can't read. Authors you've never heard of. The books smell of age. Of paper and binding and time itself. They rest on shelves that reach from floor to ceiling. Shelf after shelf. Row after row. More books than anyone could read in a lifetime. You don't take any of them down. You don't open any of them. They're content to be closed. Content to hold their words inside. Content to exist unread. The room smells of patience. Of waiting. Of things that have learned to exist without being used. You are in the room, or passing through it, or you are the room itself. All these shelves, all these books, all this accumulated time. The night is here too, in the spaces between the books. In the shadows the shelves cast even though there's no light to cast them. The night fills everything. The night is everything. The train has stopped. Not at a station. Not at a crossing. Just stopped. In the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nothing. The tracks continue ahead of it. Behind it. But the train sits still. Engine silent. Lights dark. Completely motionless. Inside, the seats remain empty. The aisles remain clear. Nothing has changed. Nothing will change. The train will sit here forever. Or it will move in the next moment. Or it's already moving and you just can't tell. Motion and stillness are the same thing here. The train proves this. Demonstrates it. Exists in the space where both are true. You are on the train. You've never left the train. The train is carrying you even when it's still. Especially when it's still. There is a window that looks out onto a garden. Not the garden you saw before. A different one. or the same one from a different window. The garden is full of shadows, shapes that might be plants, that might be statues, that might be nothing at all. You can't tell. The window doesn't help. It frames the darkness, makes a picture of the night, but doesn't clarify anything. You stand at the window, or sit, or lie down beneath it, looking up at the glass, at the darkness beyond the glass, at the darkness reflected in the glass. The garden remains mysterious, remains unknown, and that's perfect. That's exactly what it should be. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to see everything. You can rest in the not knowing, in the gentle uncertainty of what things are and whether they matter. The night knows. The night sees. That's enough. There is a road that splits. Not dramatically. Not at a sharp angle. Just a gentle divergence. One road becoming two. Two roads that will probably never meet again. The split is marked by nothing. No sign. No marker. Just the slow separation of one path from itself. You are at the split. Or past it. Or you took both roads at once. Or you took neither. It doesn't matter which road you're on. They lead to the same place. Which is to say they lead nowhere. Which is to say they lead everywhere. Which is to say they simply continue. The roads are empty. Both of them. No cars. No walkers. No marks showing that anyone has passed this way in a long time. Just two lines through the grass. Two ways through the night. Two directions that are actually one direction or no direction at all. You are carried along both roads. You are carried along neither. You are the split itself. The moment of separation. The slow pulling apart of one thing into two things that are still the same thing. The grass grows between the roads. Tall grass. Dry grass. The kind that rustles when wind passes through it. But there is no wind. The grass stands still. Perfect. Unbent. You pass through it without disturbing it. You are carried over it. Under it. Through the spaces between its blades. There is a barn in the distance. Or what might be a barn. A shape that suggests walls and a roof. A structure that implies purpose without revealing it. The barn is dark. No light in its windows. If it has windows, no door standing open. If it has a door, it simply exists out there. A solid shadow in a world of shadows. A thing that takes up space without insisting on it. You move toward the barn, or away from it, or you circle it endlessly without getting closer or farther. Distance is negotiable here. Flexible. Subject to change without notice. The barn remains where it is, or where it seems to be, or where it might have been once, or where it will be. You don't need to reach it. You don't need to see it clearly. It's enough to know it's there. Somewhere. Somehow. The train is crossing a bridge. Long and high. So high you can't see what it crosses. A river maybe. Or a valley. Or just more darkness. More of the endless dark that fills the space beneath everything. The bridge is metal. Old iron. Rusted but strong. Held together by rivets and time and the will of things to remain standing. The train moves slowly across it. Not cautiously. The train doesn't know caution. It simply moves at the speed that feels right for crossing old bridges in the dark. You are on the bridge. Or under it. Or you are the bridge itself. Iron and rust and the space between supports. The gap between here and there. The passage from one side to the other of something you can't see. The bridge doesn't shake. Doesn't sway. It holds its position in space with the confidence of things that have stood for 100 years and will stand for 100 more. You trust it. You rest on it. You let it carry you across. There is a hallway lined with photographs. The frames are old. The glass is dusty. But you can't see the photographs themselves. They're too dark, or the darkness has gotten into them, has replaced the images with shadow. The photographs show people maybe, or places, or moments captured and held. But you can't tell anymore. Can't see what was preserved. The hallway doesn't mind. The photographs don't mind. They continue to hang there, continue to frame their darkness, continue to exist as photographs, even if what they photograph can no longer be seen. You walk the hallway, or drift through it, or you are one of the photographs. Frame and glass and the darkness inside. Your own image lost to time. Your own moment faded into shadow. But still hanging there. Still present. Still part of the long line of things that once were, and might be still. The walls are close in this hallway. Closer than other hallways. You can reach out and touch both sides at once. Or you could if you were reaching. If you were trying. But you're not reaching. You're just passing through. Being carried through. Moving in that way that requires nothing of you. The hallway ends at a window. Or opens into a window. Or becomes a window. The boundaries are soft here. Edges blur into each other. The window is large. Floor to ceiling. Side to side. More glass than wall. More view than room. But the view is the same as always. Darkness. Night. The patient, endless dark that fills every space that isn't filled with something else. You stand at the window. Or you are the window. Or you passed through it hours ago and you're just remembering standing there. Memory and present and future are all the same here. All happening at once. All true simultaneously. The glass is cold. Or warm. Or neither. Temperature is just another suggestion. Another thing that might matter or might not. You rest your hand against it. Or you don't. Or your hand has always been there. Or will be there. Or the hand and the glass are the same thing. Both transparent. Both present. Both holding something apart while bringing it together. There is a tree. One tree. Standing alone in flat land. No forest around it. No other trees in sight. Just this one tree. Standing. Being a tree. The tree is old. Old enough that its trunk is thick. Its branches spread wide. Its roots go deep into earth you can't see. The tree has no leaves. Or the leaves are too dark to see. Or the tree has always been bare. Always will be bare. Doesn't need leaves to be a tree. You are standing under the tree. Or beside it. Or you are the tree. Rooted. Solid. Unmoved by anything. The tree's branches reach up into darkness. They don't reach for anything. They don't seek. They simply extend. Offer themselves to the night. Give the night something to hold on to. The night accepts the offering. Fills the spaces between branches. Settles into the bark. Becomes part of the tree the way the tree is part of the night. You rest there. In the tree. Under the tree. As the tree. It doesn't matter. What matters is the stillness. The rootedness. The sense of being held by something that has been here long before you and will be here long after. The train has entered another station. Smaller than the last one. More intimate. Just one platform. One set of tracks. One bench with peeling paint. The station is empty. Has always been empty. Will always be empty. The train stops. Or it's already stopped. Or it's moving so slowly that stopped and moving are indistinguishable. The doors open. No one gets off. No one gets on. The doors close again. Or they stay open. Or the doors are a suggestion more than a reality. You are on the platform. Or on the train. Or you are the thin line between them. The gap. The space where one thing becomes another thing. Where boundaries dissolve. Where everything is transition and nothing is fixed. The station has a clock, mounted on the wall, stopped at a time you can't read, hands pointing to numbers that shift when you look at them. The clock ticks silently, or it doesn't tick at all, or it ticks so slowly that each tick takes an hour, a day, a year. Time pools around the clock, gathers there, forgets to flow. You can rest in that pool. Let time hold you. Let it surround you without passing, without taking anything from you or giving anything to you. Just time, just being, just the long, soft present that stretches in all directions at once. There is a door at the far end of the platform. Dark wood, closed, maybe locked, maybe just heavy. The door leads to stairs, or a hallway, or another platform, or nowhere, or everywhere, or to a room where you've been before, or will be, or are right now in another version of this night. You walk toward the door, or away from it, or you stand perfectly still and the door comes to you, or you and the door remain exactly where you are and the space between you is all that changes. The space shrinks, or expands, or pulses, breathes, lives its own life independent of the things it separates. You don't open the door. Not yet. Or you've already opened it. Or you'll never open it, and that's perfect. That's exactly what should happen. The door remains, closed, patient, holding whatever is on the other side without revealing it, without even suggesting what might be there. The night knows what's behind the door. The night holds that knowledge gently, doesn't share it, doesn't need to. You can rest in the not knowing, in the mystery, in the soft uncertainty of what comes next, or what doesn't come next, or whether next is even a meaningful concept here, in this long passage through the dark. There is a room with one chair and one table. The table is small, round, sits on 3 legs instead of 4, wobbles slightly but doesn't fall. The chair is wooden, simple, no cushion, no arms, just a seat and a back and 4 legs that meet the floor with quiet certainty. The room has one window. The window has no curtains, no blinds, just glass. Clear glass showing the same darkness that's everywhere. You are sitting in the chair, or you were sitting in it, or you'll sit in it, or the chair is sitting in you, holding you the way you hold it. The table has nothing on it. No lamp, no book, no cup, just the wooden surface, worn smooth by years of nothing happening on it. The room is small, walls close enough to touch if you reached out, ceiling low enough to feel, floor solid beneath your feet that may or may not be touching it. There is no door, or the door is behind you, or the door is the window, or you came in some other way. A way that doesn't involve doors or windows or conventional entrance. You are simply here, in the room, with the chair and the table and the darkness beyond the window. The room doesn't ask anything of you, doesn't expect you to do anything, doesn't care if you stay or go, if you sit or stand, if you exist at all. You can rest here. Let the room hold you. Let its walls define the space around you without confining you. The train is moving through a tunnel. Not the same tunnel as before. A different one. Or maybe it's all the same tunnel. One long tunnel that the train has been in for hours. For days. For the entire journey. The walls are smooth. Cut from rock. Or built from brick. Or made of something else. Something that doesn't have a name. That exists only in tunnels, only in the underneath of things. The train's headlight is on, or was on, or has never been on. The beam reaches ahead into darkness, illuminates nothing. The darkness absorbs it, takes it in, gives nothing back. You are in the tunnel, or you are the tunnel, or the tunnel is a state of mind, a way of being. A passage that's as much internal as external. The tunnel continues. It has always continued. It will always continue. There is no end to it, no light at the end, no emergence into open air. Just tunnel, just passage, just the steady movement through enclosed space, through darkness that touches all sides at once. You don't mind. The tunnel is comforting. The tunnel is safe. The tunnel asks nothing and gives nothing, and that's perfect. There is a garden bench, different from the other bench. This one is metal, painted white once. The paint has chipped away in places. Rust shows through, brown and orange, the color of time, the color of slow decay. The bench sits in a garden that might not exist, or exists only partially, only in suggestion, only in the idea of garden without the actual presence of plants or flowers or growing things. The bench faces nothing. Its back is to nothing. It simply sits there, in the middle of the maybe garden, offering a place to rest that no one takes. You sit on the bench, or you stand near it, or you are the bench, metal and rust and the memory of paint, cold and solid and patient. The bench doesn't complain, doesn't ask to be painted again, doesn't wish for the garden to be more than it is. It simply exists, holds its shape, offers itself. You accept the offering, or you don't, or acceptance and refusal are the same thing here. Two ways of saying yes to the night, two ways of being held. There is a mirror, standing alone, no wall to hang on, just a mirror, tall, rectangular, frame dark, glass darker. The mirror reflects nothing, or reflects everything, or reflects only darkness, only night, only the same emptiness that surrounds it. You stand before the mirror, or behind it, or inside it, or the mirror stands before you, or you and the mirror stand nowhere, in a space that has no location, no coordinates, no position relative to anything else. The mirror shows you nothing, or it shows you yourself, or it shows you something that might be yourself, might be someone else, might be the night itself taking your shape, wearing your form, pretending to be you. You don't know, can't tell, don't need to tell. The mirror keeps its secrets, holds them behind its glass, in its silver backing. In the darkness it reflects and contains. You can look at it without seeing. You can see without looking. You can stand there forever and never know what the mirror holds. And that's fine. That's perfect. That's exactly how it should be. The train has emerged from the tunnel, or hasn't emerged. Or emergence doesn't mean what you think it means here. The outside looks like the inside. The same darkness, the same emptiness, the same patient night. The train continues moving, or has stopped, or stopped and moving are the same thing. Two words for one reality. Two ways of saying, here we are in this moment, in this place that's every place and no place. The tracks run straight ahead, or they curve, or they spiral, or they go in directions that don't have names. Up sideways, down forward, inside out. The train follows them. The train has always followed them. The train will always follow them. That's what trains do. That's what trains are. Things that follow. Things that move along prescribed paths. Things that don't choose but don't need to choose because the path is already there. Has always been there. You are on the train. You've never left the train. The train is your home, your vessel, your way through all of this. The train knows where it's going, or doesn't know, or knowing and not knowing are the same thing. Two sides of one coin. Two ways of saying, we continue, we move, we are carried through the night. There is a staircase made of light, or not light exactly. Something like light. Something that glows without illuminating, that shines without brightening. The stairs ascend, or descend, or they do both at once, or neither, or up and down are the same direction here. both leading to the same place, both taking you where you need to go. You climb the stairs, or descend them, or you stand at the bottom, or the top, or in the middle, or you are the stairs themselves. Each step, each riser, each tread worn by feet that have never walked them. The staircase continues forever, or ends just ahead, or has no beginning and no end, is simply staircase, pure staircase. Essence of staircase without being any particular stairs. You move on it without effort, without breath, without the burn of muscle or the ache of joints. You simply rise, or fall, or stay exactly where you are while the stairs move beneath you, around you, through you. The staircase is everything, or nothing, or something in between, something that can only exist here. In this long night, in this soft passage from one moment to another moment that's exactly the same. There is a door at the top of the stairs, or the bottom, or halfway, or there's no door, just an opening, a space where stairs stop and something else begins. Something else. Not a room, not a hallway, not anything you've seen before, just something else, something different. Something new that's also ancient. That's always been here. That's waiting without waiting. That's present without insisting on presence. You move toward it, or it moves toward you, or you're already there, have always been there, will always be there. The something else accepts you, or doesn't accept you, or acceptance isn't relevant. You're simply there, in it, of it. Part of it the way it's part of you. And the night continues. And the passage continues. And you continue. Being carried. Being held. Being moved through this long, long night that has no end. That needs no end. That is perfect exactly as it is. There is a field of tall grass. The grass is taller than you. Or you're smaller than you remember. Or size doesn't mean what it usually means. The grass surrounds you, not threatening, not enclosing, just present, all around, moving without wind, swaying in a breeze that doesn't blow. Each blade is distinct, or they're all the same blade, or blade is the wrong word. They're more like thoughts, like whispers, like the soft suggestion of growth without actual growing. You move through the grass, or the grass moves past you, or you stand still and the grass stands still and motion happens somewhere else, in some other dimension, some other way of being. The grass makes no sound, doesn't rustle, doesn't brush against you. It's there without being there, present without touching. You can reach out and feel it, or you can't, or feeling isn't the right word. You can be aware of it. Know it's there. Trust its presence without needing to confirm it. The field continues. No edges. No boundaries. Just grass and more grass, and beyond that, more grass still. Or nothing. Or everything. Or the distinction doesn't matter. You walk for hours. Or minutes. Or seconds. Or you don't walk at all. Time pools here. Gathers in the spaces between grass blades. Forgets to pass. There is a house in the field. Or a shape that suggests house. For walls. A roof. A door. Windows. All the elements of house without insisting on being one. The house is dark. No lights in windows. No smoke from chimney. No sound from within. Just structure. Just the idea of shelter. Of inside. Of enclosed space. You approach the house. Or the house approaches you. Or you're already inside it. Have been inside it all along. Before you saw it. Before it was there. The door is closed but not locked. Or there's no door. Or the whole wall is a door. Or door is just a word, and words don't mean what they usually mean here. You enter. Or you've always been inside. Or inside and outside are the same place. Two words for one space. Two ways of saying, here now this. Inside the house is one room, or many rooms, or no rooms. Just space, just darkness, just the soft absence of light without the presence of shadow. The floor is solid, or not solid, or solidity is negotiable. Your feet find it, or your feet find something. Or feet aren't the right word for what touches the ground. There is furniture, or the memory of furniture. A chair, a table, a bed in the corner. All of them present, all of them absent, all of them existing in that space between is and isn't. You sit in the chair, or lie on the bed, or stand in the middle of the room, or you're in all three positions at once, all three states at once. Sitting and lying and standing in none of these. The house holds you, or you hold the house, or holding isn't necessary. You're simply here, in this space, in this moment, in this long, soft present that stretches endlessly. The train is at a junction, tracks splitting, one way going left, one way going right, or both ways going the same direction. Or direction is a suggestion more than a fact. The train sits at the junction, not deciding, not waiting, just being there, at the place where one becomes two, where choice presents itself without requiring choice. The tracks gleam, or they're dull, or gleaming and dull are the same thing here. Both true, both real, both happening simultaneously. You are on the train, or at the junction, or you are the junction, the split, the moment of potential divergence, the place where things could change but don't have to, where change and sameness are equally valid, equally present. The train moves, or doesn't move, or moves in both directions at once, or stays perfectly still while the world moves around it. The junction passes, or you pass the junction. Or the junction is always there, always presenting its choice, always offering its split, always being the place where one thing might become two things. But nothing changes, or everything changes, or change is constant and therefore not change at all. Just continuation, just the steady movement through moments that are all the same moment. All the same now, all the same here. There is a river again, or a different river, or all rivers are the same river. One long flow, one continuous movement, one expression of water finding its way. The river is wide here, slow, moving so slowly you can't see the movement. Can only know it's happening by trusting, by remembering that rivers move, that water flows. That stillness on the surface doesn't mean stillness below. You are on the river, or beside it, or you are the river. Water and flow and the patient movement toward some distant sea that may not exist. That doesn't need to exist. That's only there to give the river direction, purpose, reason to continue. But the river doesn't need reason, doesn't need purpose. It flows because flowing is what it is. What it does, what it's always done, what it will always do. You float on it, or in it, or with it, your body held by water, by the gentle pressure of liquid against skin. Or you have no body, or body doesn't matter, just consciousness, just awareness, just the simple fact of being carried, of being moved without effort. The banks are far away, or close. Or there are no banks, or the banks are just suggestions, ideas of edge, concepts of boundary. But boundaries here are soft, permeable, easy to cross, easy to ignore. You drift, or the river drifts, or drifting happens, and who does the drifting doesn't matter. What matters is the motion, the continuation, the soft, inevitable movement from here to there. From now to then, from this moment to the next moment, that's exactly the same. There is a boat on the river, or you're in the boat, or you are the boat. wooden, old, weathered by years of water, of sun, of time itself wearing away at wood, making it softer, making it more itself. The boat has no oars, no sail, no motor, just the boat, just its wooden shape, just the way it sits in the water, settled, comfortable, at home in its element. The boat moves with the river, or the river moves the boat, or boat and river and movement are all the same thing. All one continuous flow, one expression of going, of continuing, of being carried through the long night on water that never stops. That can't stop. That wouldn't know how to stop even if it wanted to. You rest in the boat, or as the boat, or near the boat, or boat is just a word and the reality is something else. Something without name. Something that can only be experienced. Only be known by being it, by letting it be you. The river continues. The boat continues. The night continues. You continue. All of it one long, soft, endless continuation. All of it perfect. All of it exactly as it should be. There is a bridge you've crossed before. Or a different bridge. Or all bridges are this bridge. One structure. One span. One crossing repeated endlessly. The bridge is stone this time. Old stone. The kind that's been shaped by human hands centuries ago. Each block cut and fitted. Each gap filled with mortar. Each stone touching its neighbor with the patience of things that will stand for generations. The bridge arches over water. Or over nothing. Or over everything. What it crosses doesn't matter. What matters is the crossing. The passage from one side to another. The movement through the space above the space below. You walk across the bridge. Or you've already crossed it. Or you're always crossing it. Always in that moment of passage. Always between one place and another. Always in transition. Always becoming. The stones are worn smooth. Worn by feet and time and weather. Worn by the simple act of being walked on. Being used. Being part of countless crossings. Countless journeys. Countless passages from here to there. Your feet know these stones. Or they don't. Or knowing doesn't matter. The stones hold you regardless. Support you regardless. Do their work without asking if you deserve it. Without asking anything at all. The bridge has a railing. Or it doesn't. Or the railing is there when you need it and gone when you don't. Stone or metal or wood. Something to hold. Something to lean against. Something to remind you that edges exist even when you can't see them. You run your hand along the railing. Or you don't. Or your hand has always been there. Always touching. Always feeling the cool smoothness of stone or the rough texture of rust or the splinters of old wood. The railing doesn't mind. Doesn't care. Doesn't know you're touching it. It simply exists. Offers itself. Provides what you need without needing anything in return. The train has stopped at another station. Or the same station. Or station is just a word for the places where trains pause. Where motion becomes stillness. Where stillness prepares to become motion again. This station is smaller than before. Or larger. Or size doesn't apply. It's simply the station. The place where you are now. The present moment made physical. Made concrete. Made real. The platform is empty. Has always been empty. Will always be empty. No benches here. No shelter. Just the platform. Just the space beside the tracks. Just the place where people would stand if there were people. Where people would wait if there were anything to wait for. But there's no waiting here. No anticipation. No looking forward. Just being. Just existing. Just the simple fact of this moment. This place. This stillness. You step onto the platform. Or you're already there. Or you've never left it. Or the platform and the train, and you are all the same thing. all made of the same substance, all part of the same long night, the same endless journey. The station has a roof, or had a roof, or the roof is there in memory only, in the idea of shelter, in the concept of protection from elements that don't threaten, from weather that doesn't happen. You stand under the roof, or in the open, or the distinction doesn't matter. The night is the same everywhere, inside and outside, covered and uncovered, protected and exposed. All the same night, all the same gentle dark, all the same soft absence of everything except presence itself. There is a path leading away from the station, or toward it, or the path leads nowhere, just extends, just continues, just offers itself as a way to move, a way to go, a way to be carried through space. The path is dirt, packed hard, worn by feet that no longer walk, by wheels that no longer turn, by time itself wearing away at earth, making grooves, making patterns, making something from nothing. You follow the path, or it follows you, or you and the path move together. Inseparable. Two aspects of one movement, one journey, one passage through this landscape of night. The path winds between trees, or stones, or nothing, just winding, just curving, just refusing to go straight because straight is too simple, too easy, too much like arriving. And arriving isn't the point, has never been the point, won't ever be the point. The point is moving, continuing, being carried through all of this without needing destination, without needing conclusion, without needing anything except the passage itself. There is a clearing ahead, or behind, or you're already in it. Space opening up, trees pulling back, path widening into something like a circle, something like gathering place, something like center. But there's nothing in the clearing. No fire, no stones arranged for sitting, no sign that anyone has ever been here, ever used this space, ever made it into place rather than just space. The clearing is empty, pure empty, perfect empty, the kind of empty that's not lacking anything, that's complete in its emptiness, that needs nothing added to be exactly what it should be. You stand in the clearing, or sit, or lie down on grass that might be there, on earth that definitely is, on the solid ground that holds everything, that supports everything, that asks nothing and gives everything. The sky above is dark, has always been dark, will always be dark, not the dark of storm clouds or sunset, the dark of night, the dark of absence, the dark of the space between stars, between thoughts, between moments. You look up at the darkness, or you don't look, or looking and not looking are the same thing. The darkness is there regardless, present regardless, holding you regardless. The darkness is everything. The darkness is nothing. The darkness is the medium through which all of this happens. The substance of the night itself. The thing that carries you, that holds you, that moves you from moment to moment without asking permission, without needing permission. You rest in the darkness. You are the darkness. You and the darkness are one thing, have always been one thing, will always be one thing. And the passage continues. There is a road that has no end. You've been on this road before, or you've always been on it, or this is the first time but it feels like forever, like home, like the only place you've ever been. The road is neither straight nor curved. It simply goes, extends, continues into darkness, out of darkness, through darkness, made of darkness, inseparable from the night that surrounds it. Your feet know this road, or you have no feet, or feet aren't necessary. You move anyway, are moved, are carried by the road itself, by the night itself, by whatever force moves things that need moving. The road is empty, has always been empty. 2 tracks worn into earth, or asphalt, or something between. Something that's part natural and part made. Part there and part remembered. Part real and part dream. You don't question the road. Don't wonder where it leads. Don't worry about distance or destination, or how long you've been walking. Because walking isn't the right word. And time isn't passing the way it usually passes. And destination was never the point. The point is this: the movement, the continuation, the simple act of being carried through hours that are all the same hour, through a night that is all nights, through a journey that began before you began and will continue after you end. There are trees beside the road, or there were trees, or there will be trees, or trees are just dark shapes, just suggestions of vertical, just ways the night has learned to stand up, to reach, to extend into the space above the space below. The trees don't move, don't grow, don't change. They simply are, simply exist, simply do the work of being trees without question, without doubt, without needing to know why. You pass the trees, or the trees pass you, or passing is simultaneous, mutual. You pass each other, acknowledge each other without acknowledgement, know each other without knowing. The road continues, always continues, will always continue, even when you stop, even when you rest, even when you cease to be whatever you are now. The road will remain, will carry other travelers, will continue being road, doing road things, existing as road exists, perfectly, completely, without apology. There is a house beside the road, small, simple, one window, one door, walls and roof, the basic elements of shelter without elaboration, without decoration, without trying to be more than house needs to be. The house is dark inside, or lit, or light and dark are the same thing here, are 2 words for one reality, for the gentle presence of space, of enclosure, of interior. You approach the house, or you've been inside it all along, or the house and the road and the night are all the same place, all the same space, all the same long, soft moment stretching in every direction at once. The door opens without opening. You enter without entering. You're inside without having crossed a threshold. Because thresholds here are suggestions, invitations, not barriers, not boundaries, just gentle markers between one way of being and another way of being the same thing. Inside the house is one room. Just one. Walls on all sides. Ceiling above. Floor below. Simple. Complete. Whole. There is a bed. Simple. Covered with a blanket. Dark blanket. Or light. Or color doesn't translate here. Or color is something that happens somewhere else. In some other kind of night. You lie down on the bed. Or you've been lying there all night. All year. All life. Time pools here. Gathers. Forgets its job. Forgets to move things forward. Forgets that forward exists. That backward exists. That anything exists except this moment. This place. This rest. The bed holds you. Not with springs or mattress. Just with being bed. With doing what beds do. Providing surface. Providing support. Providing the simple gift of horizontal. Of not having to hold yourself up. Of being held instead. You sink into the bed. Or the bed rises around you. Or sinking and rising are the same motion. Are both ways of saying, here finally is rest. Here is the thing you've been moving toward. The place you've been carried to. The moment of arrival that isn't arrival because there's nowhere to arrive. Nothing to reach. Nowhere that isn't here. The blanket covers you. Or you pull it over yourself. or it has always covered you, always been there, always been this weight, this warmth, this gentle pressure that reminds you that you have edges, have boundaries, have a shape even though shape is less important here than it is elsewhere. You close your eyes, or open them, or eyes don't matter, or you don't have eyes, or eyes are just one way of seeing and there are other ways, better ways, ways that don't require light or sight or the distance between seer and seen. You see the darkness, or the darkness sees you, or seeing happens without anyone doing it, without anyone being it, just seeing, just awareness, just the simple fact of presence registering itself, knowing itself, being itself. The house is quiet, or full of sound, or sound and quiet are the same thing, are both forms of silence, of the absence of noise that matters, of the presence of peace that doesn't need to announce itself. You breathe, or you don't breathe, or breathing happens somewhere else, in another version of you, in another layer of this night, this moment, this eternal now that holds all nows, all moments, all breaths and non-breaths and the space between. Your body rests, or releases, or remembers how to be still, how to not do, how to simply lie here, simply be here, simply exist here without trying, without effort, without the constant work of being someone, something, anything. You are no one, or everyone, or the distinction doesn't matter. What matters is the rest, the deep rest, the kind that goes beyond sleep, beyond unconsciousness, into something else, something that doesn't have a name because names are for things that need definition, need boundary, need separation from other things. And there are no other things here. Just this, just now, just the long, soft, endless present that has always been, that will always be. That is the only thing that ever was or ever will be or ever could be. The night holds you, has always held you, will always hold you, even when night becomes day, even when you wake, even when you remember yourself, remember your life. Remember that there are places to go and things to do and reasons to be someone instead of no one. Even then, the night will hold you. We'll remember this moment. We'll keep it safe. We'll offer it back to you whenever you need it, whenever you forget how to rest, how to be held, how to be carried through the long passages, the soft transitions, the gentle movements from here to here to here. You rest now. Completely, totally, without reservation, without keeping part of yourself alert, watching, waiting for what comes next, because nothing comes next, or everything comes next, or next is just another version of now, another way of saying, you are here, you are held, you are safe, you are carried through this night that has no end because it doesn't need an end, because it is perfect exactly as it is, exactly as it has always been, exactly as it will always be, stretching out in all directions, holding everything, asking nothing, giving everything, being night, being passage, being the long way through, the only way through, the way that continues even now, even here, even as you rest, even as you let go, even as you become nothing and everything in the soft space between, even as the night continues, continues, continues.